Hello everybody, welcome to Quality Sewing and Vacuums So Fun Virtual Live. We're here in January and Happy New Year! It seems like so long since we've been here, so thank you for joining us today. If you are new onto here, we just want to let you know that we do these live all month long, and we'd love for you to join one of our live shows. So go on to qualitysewing.com and see what live shows that you can sign up for next month.
In person at stores.
In person at stores. Yes, thank you. They're super fun. There's fun friends there, fun prizes, all kinds of things. You want to come and join us if you're local in the area. Thank you for all those that are jumping on today virtually. We are going to do 2 prizes at the end of the presentation. So don't forget to leave a comment down below. Let us know where you're tuning in from. If you have any questions, those are going to pop up on the screen, and Polly and Gail will be able to answer those for you. So they're going to be presenting all kinds of amazing notions and products today, and if you would like to get any of these So Fun products, which we'll add the link on there in just a second, all of those will be 20% off if you put in JAN for January, JAN20 for 20% off, and it just applies to the products that Polly and Gail will be talking about today. So with that, I'm going to turn the time over to Polly and Gail. Take it away, ladies.
Thank you. Good morning. Hello, everyone. Thank you for joining us. We are here today, and we're going to start off with our animal jelly roll quilts, and we are bringing in this fun book, The Animal Quilts, and you can see behind me I have the ladybug here, and within this book they have put them together, grouped them together, and it's not just a quilt. It's a quilt, it's a runner, it's a rug, it's a what do you call those things?
The pennants.
The pennants. It's
A placemat, just a bunch of stuff that you can do that all coordinate.
So they all coordinate.
Yeah.
Here's the ladybug rug that I made, and this was great. This is all 2.5-inch strips that I start with. The book gives you the directions and how to cut using the ruler. You cut, and if you put the 2 pieces of fabric together, right sides together, then you're going to get them going in the right directions, and everything lines up. They are very easy to make. They're fun. I learned lots about geometry making these.
Right. Right. Back to geometry class.
Right. Yep. So then I made this quilt here, doing the same concept. When I did my fabrics, I did my right sides together, and we brought in a 60-degree angle ruler, and this is for both the right and left side, or if you cut your fabrics right sides together, you're going to have your right and left side. But these are also great if you're right-handed or left-handed, then you can use the ruler for that instance, and you'll get your angles going the right direction. Yeah. And so they work out wonderful. And the nice thing with these rulers is you see at the very top here that there's not a point on there. So then your strips line up perfect.
I forget we're upside down.
Oh, there we go. All right.
You're upside down.
So then if you see here, there's no point. So the points line up perfect, and they just butt up very nice when you're sewing your fabrics together. And when you do it, then you want to make sure though that you're trimming or you're pressing your fabrics open. It takes out the bulk of your when you're putting everything together, and we have a little sample here of that, where this is if your seams are posted. If your seams are pressed to one side, you get bulk in the middle here. Whereas when the seams are open, you don't have the bulk. Everything just lays nice. It
very nice, precise.
Yes.
Corners.
And it helps you get those points straight on. So that's a big bonus for that. Great tip to remember when using using the rulers and pressing everything open. And so with that,
I'm going to talk about the elephant over here.
there you go. You go to the elephant and
Yeah. Just one quick note, these rulers are from Quilters Select, which means they do have that wonderful coating on the backside.
Oh, thank you.
That makes them grip your fabric. So if you had a regular ruler, it's kind of like the top, right? And the ruler slides around. But these have that grip on the backside, so when you flip them over and use them correctly, they actually take the fabric with you. So it makes it a little easier to cut. You get accurate cuts with that.
very nice. Thank you.
All right, so the elephant over here, I just wanted to point out, this is the rug for the elephant, and he's a little bit bigger than that ladybug, right? So every motif or animal that they have in the book, and they have about 12 different ones, bears, cats, dogs, they have that rug feature and that quilt feature. So the elephant is a little bit bigger in the rug form. He's actually pretty big. And then the quilt is only going to have one elephant instead of two, right? So the directions are built the same for each of those motifs. But what I wanted to point out, while the book is written for 2.5-inch strips, jelly rolls, that doesn't mean you have to cut your strips 2.5. If you're using yardage, then you can leave your pieces together. These actually come out 4-inch finished. So I cut 4.5-inch strips and I didn't have to put the two seams back together. So you can do a little bit of math and save yourself some cutting. But very fun little trunk down here. He's kind of difficult to see against our gray mat, but it's just a whole lot of fun. Animals, animals, animals. And over to the other side here,
The raccoon.
we have our raccoon. This one is again a quilt, and this one has those rights and lefts that Polly was mentioning. When you make parallelograms, they either slant to the right or they slant to the left. So you need a pair if you're going to build a face. And so by putting those fabrics right sides together, you're always going to have a left and you're always going to have a right. So that's how this middle part was created. And then we have a lovely stripe across here. Now all of these fabrics were from Tula Pink Gray Works and our little swirlies for the background. And what I want to point out, I think we're going to do a little bit of a close-up here, is this binding. So it's a great way to make a colorful binding by taking a striped fabric, which is just the coordinating print from this gray base stripe to the black base stripe. And I'm going to share at the sewing machine how, actually no, I'm going to do it right here, how to connect all of these so that they look pretty. Okay, so on our overhead, I have some strips that are already done up here. And I have two pieces of fabric that I'm going to try to connect together, right? But I don't want my connections to be very obvious. I don't want them to connect like that because that would just draw your eye. So my method of matching these, I've got to get the right stripes going the right direction. I'm going to take one of my pieces and I'm going to fold it back 45 degrees and press just a little piece of Steam-A-Seam. That's that paperback fusible web. And I'm going to lay it down where it needs to live permanently, and then I'm going to iron it. And that ironing is a basting. Then I can open this up. I can sew on that seam right down the crease, just like that. And once I trim off my ends here, then I have a perfect matched binding.
Very nice.
Yeah. So we're going to do a little follow-up video that's going to actually have me sewing. So if you want to tune into that a little bit later, you can go find that. So it really, really makes a nice connection all the way around. So that's what I did to connect my 5 pieces together to get that binding. Inside the quilt here, we have our wool batting. And this is called Dream Wool. And Dream Wool is a merino wool. It is washed and stabilized, and it only requires you to quilt 8 inches apart. For a batting, that's very, very great. It is a very lightweight, and being wool, it's going to keep you nice and warm. So,
You know what I want to say? Do you know my favorite part about wool batting is?
what's that?
It has no memory. So when you
right.
fold your quilt with wool batting, it has no memory. So you're never going to get those crease lines. That's my very favorite thing about wool batting.
That's great. That's great. You don't have to go iron your quilts and make them look pretty. The package we have today is a throw size, 60 by 60, which is going to make this raccoon right here. All right.
All right.
So
Next.
we used but didn't really talk
Yeah.
about. So you want to share those?
Sure. So we used on these, we brought in these, it's a little 28 millimeter rotary cutter. And here it is outside the box. Maybe that's a little better. Then we also brought in blades. Now these numbers are for our in-store shopping, so don't let those confuse you.
Yeah.
So we brought in extra rotary blades for the rotary cutter. And this, my favorite with this, I'll keep it down so you can see it, not put it in my hands, is that when I used this when I was cutting my points off of the angles on the very top, so I could lay my seams out and they butted up very nice together.
Right, for your ladybug?
Yes.
Yeah. Yeah. So one main thing that you need to know about this little guy, it's got a little thumb push tab, right? But it's split. So if you pull half of it back, it actually locks. And that makes it so that the blade doesn't go back down when you don't want it to. If it's not, then you're going to lose that blade down there. So you put it on lock, you engage it, lock it, and now it's going to work. And you can also engage that lock when it's closed. That means it's not going to come out when it's inside your bag, right? You don't want to cut your fingers when you put your hand in your bag.
Right.
And don't forget, hey, we have a tape measure as well. Now this has millimeters and inches. So we're metric and standard, and it is retractable. Just push the little button and it all goes back up inside. So
Very good, right?
Handy dandy thing to
Nice
have.
little purse size, pocket size.
Absolutely. You want to talk about
We also brought in, again, don't let the number confuse you, but this is the cat paw lint brush that we brought in. And look at this. Can you, it's about, look at that little cat paw. And this is just a little lint brush that will get rid of the lint off your mat when you're cutting all those little angles. And then you just put it back in and it goes back together, and there it is. So again, this is another little one that we brought in.
Right.
Great little lint brush.
clean your sewing machine, put on your makeup.
Right, that's what I came up with. I thought it's a
you
great.
want, but you got to get two, one for the machine, one for the makeup. You don't want to mix them, you know.
Yeah.
But anyway, very, very cute little cat's paw.
Yep.
Lint brush. Okay, should we talk about dogs?
Sure. Let's talk about how we can dress our little puppies up.
All right.
We brought in this book, The Well-Dressed Dog.
Cute little models. We've got lots and lots of garments inside, and of course they look better on the pets, but if I don't know if we can get closer than that, but we've got
This, then we have some more on the back.
we do. Yeah, we're zoomed in a little bit.
Yeah.
So lots and lots of cute little garments, and we have a few right here to show you. So let's start out with this little guy right here.
With that little dress on.
Yes.
Look at that dress.
Dress up your dog in a little dress, right? So this is the little tank top with the dress. Cute little organza. And don't you like my little puppy? Yep, perfect pet, right? Cuddly.
Doesn't talk.
Yeah, doesn't
Don't
make much
take out
noise.
for going water or potty.
Yeah. Still cuddly. All right, and then I got the big brother. So this one is the hooded tank top. So we've got a hood up here like that. We've got some snaps on the front, and don't forget the pocket. And so this is a t-shirt. We've got some elastic around the edges. Now the book has multi-size patterns, right? So you can put garments on your little 5-pound dog, or you can go all the way up to about 75 pounds. So whatever you got.
Yep, it'll fit.
It'll fit, right? But pockets have to go on the back of these garments, because if you had it on the belly, then it'd be hitting the ground, right?
Yep, especially for my little ones.
Right? So that was for a medium-sized dog or so, the hooded tank top. But here is the hooded tank top for just a little 9-pound Chihuahua, right? Same garment, same little pocket on the back, and the little hood. So you can make them multi-sized. You want to talk about your coat?
Sure. So we can talk. So I have little girls, and this works perfect for them. And when I made mine, I used splash fabric on the outside because we like to have the water repel against them. And then I just put some scrap fabric on the inside for lining that would be rubbing up against them. And it has a little collar and then just a little Velcro on the straps. So when I put it on them, and the same when you make this, you just stick the Velcro on and they're good and nothing rubs. You just make sure that you put the Velcro on the inside tabs. Oops, my Velcro's coming out. And that way it's not rubbing on their bellies when they're walking, and they're fine with it. So
yeah, and very adjustable Velcro.
yes,
Yeah.
yes. Yep.
Now the same garment, right? For a little bit bigger dog is this one. Now one of our friends made this for her
Silken Windhound.
Silken Windhound, okay? Similar to a greyhound style dog, long hair, but much bigger body, right? So you've got the adjustments in there. So again, we have, this is the quilted coat out of the book. I think it's been our most popular garment, at least that I've heard. And then we have lining. We have Velcro down here on the body, and also this reflective webbing. So I'm going to pull out the little leash I made, and if we can get the overhead, can you see that reflective nature of that webbing? It is so cool. It is 1.5 inches wide.
Look how it changes colors.
Yes,
When
and
the lights hit it different.
that's going to make you be able to be seen if you're out walking in the dark. So very cool. You can put it on people, you can put it on pets, you can make leashes and handles for bags and whatever, right? If you have a little crossbody bag, then you've got, you know, that reflective nature right there. So very, very cool stuff. Now, the patterns in the book are going to be those multiple size patterns, right? We've seen them before. They've got the small, the medium, the large. In this case, they've got a few more sizes than that. But you are going to need to trace those out, right? You're not going to cut out the paper pieces that are in the back of the book. So we have our Swedish tracing paper today. And this comes in this big long tube. It is 29 inches wide and it is 10 yards long. So it is a very large piece that you can make full-size garments, animal garments, or whatever you'd like. So in the book, you're going to choose your pattern of choice, right? In this case, we're going to do a little Hawaiian shirt, and I've chosen a size TM, which is a medium for a smaller type dog. In the instructions, it tells me, you know, what pieces I need, how much fabric, how much Velcro, any snaps, and then the layout when I go to put these pieces on my fabric. Also in there are a few little lines, and it's hard to see on this camera, but trust me, they're there. And what those are all about is the patterns themselves do not have any built-in seam allowance. So we're going to add that seam allowance, and that picture is going to tell me if I need to add seam allowance or not, and where and how much. So I have a tip for any tracing off of patterns that you might be doing, and that is, Chris, we can get that back here. If you have a target pattern piece here and it's got multiple sizes, we're going to put a bright little dot in each corner so that by the time I get the tissue paper or the tracing paper over the top, I can see that a little bit better. I have some place to target. And I know that this is going to be difficult on camera, but I have this Swedish tracing paper, which is very, very thin. And because I don't have seam allowances, I'm going to give myself, some space around. But my pocket is what I'm going to trace out, and it's all straight lines. I don't need to draw those lines because number one, I don't need them. And number two, I can't draw straight by myself, right? I have to have a ruler for that. So once I've got my dots, I'm going to use the ruler to add that seam allowance that it told me. So I'm going to go 1/4 of an inch, 1/4 of an inch. Any ruler that's got some little marks on it will work. 1/4 of an inch, 1/4 of an inch. And then on the top of this pocket, they have a 1/2 an inch, fully marked on the pattern, because it has a hem. So the dots in here were just references. I've added my seam allowances. I'm good to go. I can write on here that it is, garment number M. It's a pocket. I even have to put my fabric going that direction. And all of those things that I need to have on my pattern, I can do right here on this tracing paper. Now, there's a little bonus, and I'm going to walk around to the machine while you set up for the next part.
Okay.
And that is, this stuff is so thin and so strong that once I've drawn out my patterns and I can cut out my pattern on my pattern tissue paper, I can actually sew through it. And what that means is that I can put my pieces together and make myself a practice or a sloper or a muslin. It's got different names. But then I can try it on and see if it fits, and it's not going to tear. So it is fully sewable pattern paper. And that means I don't have to take out an extra fabric to cut out. Any markings that I need to make on this for extra darts or extra whatever placements on my pattern can go right on my pattern paper. And I'm going to do a very long stitch for this, a basting stitch, so that I can take it out and then use this on my fabric to cut out my pieces.
Very nice. Thank you. Thank you. So with that, I'm going to walk into the tracing paper that we brought in. So we brought in Water Erasable Tracing Paper. Now it looks like the old stuff that we used to use way back, if you're old enough to remember the different colors of the tracing paper, but there was also blue. The difference is this tracing paper is water soluble. And so with that, we also brought in these tools. So we brought in, you remember these little rollers for your lines, and we brought in the different, and then we also brought this one in that is like a stiletto almost, but you can draw with, and I'll show you that here in a moment. And then, perfect, thank you so much. There you go.
Tracing wheel and our metal Hera.
And then this also looks like a little spatula side on it. But let me show you here with these how you do it. So if you take your tracing paper, we'll start with the French side here. Whoops, and I just ripped it. Sorry about that. So then we're going to just take our fabric and we're just going to put it right down on the tracing paper. And all we're going to do, so here I'm going to use the little pointer side, but I love how this just fits perfect right into my hand, and I can draw. So I'm going to just draw a little heart shape here, and watch this. But when Gail did this when we were practicing, she made it look much easier.
Well, did mine upside down. I did mine with the fabric on the bottom and the...
Is that why it's easy? Okay, here, let's turn it around.
And if you had a picture, right, that you needed to make your marks from, that would go on there.
Yep, so look, watch
You're just
this.
going to follow along.
So then we're going to just take our little wheels here, and we're just going to wheel right along. And then if I wanted, this was just like my, which line with the dots?
The little ones, yeah.
Yep. Then I would just take that. But look, this also comes, if you pull this off, it comes with the straight also. So you can either change it out, or you can just use it like this. So this comes actually with 3 different types of wheels, which is wonderful to use. And then you have your spatula side, which again, you can take to get that straight line, you just push right along there. Or you can draw just like that. And now we'll take all this off, and you'll see here, there's all our lines. There's our heart, here's our different dotted lines, our straight line here, then here's the line with our spatula. So then, are you ready for this? Watch this, because remember at the beginning when I said this is water soluble, so watch this. It's just water in here. Look at that. I spray it and it disappears. The lines all just disappear. So instead of using the blue eraser pens or chalk that are supposed to go away after they're heated, whatever, you don't even have that fuss. All you have to do is spray a little water and it's good to go.
There you go. Fun, fun. All right, and there's another end to that metal hera, and that's the little pointy part. It's a great stiletto, but also a stitch picker, right? You can cut out your seams or use a seam ripper to cut them, your threads, but you can also pick them. So if I stick this in a stitch, I can pull, and it has a nice thick shaft, so I'm not worried about snapping my seam rippers, which I do all the time. So, great other tip for that. Okay, that water erasable tracing paper looks like this. You get 3 sheets and they're folded, so you get quite a bit. You can use them over and over and over and over again until you run out of stuff, the magic stuff, and then you get another package. All right, so for the garments themselves, we used, oh, you know, I forgot one.
Oh.
We have made the little hat. Right? But I did talk about snaps and elastic and Velcro and all those different things that you can use for closures. So what cute little puppy would want to wear a little hat, right? Keep his ears warm. All right. So we have Velcro, 3/4 inch. We're going to do some close-ups here in black and white. It is 30 inches long. It is sew-on, so there's no adhesive. We're going to do the fold over elastic. And this comes in about 14 different colors. We have 6 listed here. Red, white, blue, gray, pink, and black. And then we have the finger snaps. So finger snaps came in black and white today, but they have other colors out there as well that you can find on our website. So finger snaps are snaps that you can actually assemble without any tools. You don't need a hammer, you don't need all of that fun stuff. So Velcro is Velcro. We've had it around before. I'm not really going to focus in on that, but I'm going to go to the machine and show you how to use that fold over elastic. So this brand from byannie.com is almost an inch wide. It is, let's see, let's go this way. It is about 7/8 of an inch. It's got a matte finish on one side, it's got a shiny on the other, and it's got a line right down the middle that allows it to fold really, really nice and easy. So the first thing I'm going to do with this product is I'm going to get it started. I'm going to choose a stitch on my machine that is a zigzag, and that zigzag is going to take 3 stitches to get from one side of the zigzag to the other. That's going to make my stitches a little bit shorter, and I've adjusted my stitch edit parameters on my machine to be 9 millimeters wide and 10 millimeters long. So I've gone as wide and as long as I can. I'm just going to get this going in here. And I'm going to stitch out just an inch or two. I've got the walking foot engaged on this FOF icon, and it's just going to give it something to hang on to, right? Then my fabric is on the stretchy side. This is for armholes and necklines and other things. And I'm going to take that fold over elastic and I'm going to put the fabric right in there so that the edge of the fabric meets the fold on that elastic. So if I shove that in there, let's see if I can get my hands out of the way. And I've just got just a touch of tension on that elastic. I don't need to pull it too much because I don't want it to gather. I just want it to be very flat when it's finished. I'm going to stop about halfway. Now I have an alternate, right? If I want to stretch it out, I can actually gather this up really well. If I'm going to give a whole lot of pull on the front, then I got to have some corresponding pull on the back. Otherwise, I'll just pull it right out of the front of the machine. There you go. And I'm pulling on the elastic, not the knit. So that gives me a nice flat side, and then it gives me a little bit of a gathered side. So you can see both of those. Now, because I have the machine out, I'm going to show you another quick little tip. I have regular elastic. This is about 1/2 inch. Doesn't have to be the fold over, but it could. But I have it about 1/2 inch. I'm going to use the very same stitch. I'm going to flip this over to the wrong side. And I'm going to put a row of elastic right down the middle. So this doesn't cover up the edge, but this is just a little bonus tip. Again, I got to get started and get myself something in the back to hang on to. I'm really going to stretch this one out. And that one can be used anywhere you need to have a little bit of gathering, but that triple zigzag allows that fabric to have somewhere to go in between where the stitching is, and it just really makes a nice stitch rather than a straight stitch for that method. Okay, we're going to go right here and we're going to talk about those finger snaps. So while I don't need any tools to actually assemble the snaps, I do need a tool to poke a hole. So we do sell the Perfect Punch, and yep, you can see it. This is from OESD. And I call it a self-drilling punch, but basically that means that when I push on the handle, it will make the shaft spin as I go. So I'm going to drill down into there. It doesn't take much pressure. I don't have to hit it with a hammer, but I'm going to get a nice little hole. And there are 3 different tips, 3 different holes for this punch. Okay, small, medium, and large. For the snaps, I'm going to use the little itty bitty small one. When you're not using the extra tips, they actually store in the handle, so it's pretty cool. But I don't want to damage the surface of my table or maybe my cutting mat, so they have these little mats as well. OESD puts out a little package of 2 mini mats. And when you use yours like every day like I do, it's going to wear out, you know, the tips eventually. So they make a replacement tip thing as well. To change those out, I would just do that and pull the tip out and put another one back in. So I can switch them out for size, and I can switch them out when they get damaged. Okay, so this is easy. I've put a little piece of fusible interfacing on the back of my knit so it doesn't stretch. And I just need to put this in the palm of my hand and push. And it pokes a little hole. Just like that. And then I have 4 parts to this snap. There are 8 sets in a package. So I have the back side, a cap for each. Those are the same. I'm going to poke it through the little hole. And I'm going to put the other half on here and give it a push. And of course they go in perfect at home. Not so much on camera, right?
Isn't that the way it always is?
Always. Okay. There we go.
There it is.
There's the snap. And then we'll do the other side here. And that's the opposite connection, right? So they'll go together. So make sure that you've got the 2 different kinds. Now that one snapped on
Very easy.
quite easy. And then they just go together, right? So these are great for little kid stuff, bibs and garments and critter stuff too. So yeah, very handy dandy. So finger snaps. Yes.
For the tracing paper that you showed, would that work for making quilt lines?
For the water soluble, absolutely.
Can you repeat the question?
Yes. So the question was, can you use that for quilt marking? You would have to have your quilt top against a hard surface because you're using it kind of like a carbon paper type thing. So you would need to be able to mark on that. It's not going to be on a really soft surface, but absolutely. You can trace them on and wash them off or just spray them and it'll go away. Always test a piece on your actual fabric. So yeah, that would be a great use of that. Okay, are we ready for the next
We're ready.
thing?
So now we're going to start with our pet set here. And this is where we've brought in both our, this is a by Annie pattern. This is a great pattern that we've brought in. There we go. And this, we made the bags and we also made the collars with it. The collars we brought in kits. The bags went up super easy. So this is the pattern. This is the actual poop bag itself. It's got a little pocket where you can put your poop bags, pull them out, and look at that.
It's like a little dispenser,
Right? Yep. Be out walking, put it on, and look. Then, so Gail made this one with a Clifford.
Yeah.
Yes, with the poop bag. Then I like, I don't like pockets, but I walk at night. And so I put the iridescent
reflective
webbing on, and so people can see me when I'm walking. But then we use some of this
waterproof canvas.
Waterproof canvas that we brought in that has little doggies on it. And then I can keep their poop bag in here. I can keep my phone in here. I have everything because I have 2, so I have to carry 2 leashes. And then because I'm walking at night, I have a flashlight, so I'm hands-free when I have my bag, but I have the reflective webbing on, so I can be seen. And this pattern was very quick and easy.
It was. And it has instructions for all 3 sizes. We have a large kit put together for 1 inch, and it's got the webbing, the hardware, the clip, the slider, the D-ring, everything that you need for a collar all in one place. You don't have to go search for all of that stuff. We have a medium size, which is 3/4 inch width. And then we have some small ones. Now the small ones are a little bit different. They are the size for a small dog or maybe a cat. They have black, I knew I should have picked a different color. They have black ribbon, and then they have a velvet ribbon, and they come in different colors. If you purchase it online, you're just going to get what you get. But this one happens to be lavender, but they have a matching bell. Right, and the one I have here is navy. That's why it's really hard to see what color it is. But they're going to have that little snap, and you're going to be able to hear where your animal's coming. Right, so cute, small dog or cat, but
Yep.
Cute little options for collars. Now, you don't have to leave your webbing black, right? You can take that webbing and you can add fabric, or you can add ribbon, or you can put fabric and ribbon, right? You can do vinyls. You can dress them up any way you like before you put that hardware on, and make that your own. I've even seen them with rhinestones on them.
Ooh la la.
Or embroider the name, right? Many of you have embroidery machines. So, you know, it is all up to you.
Sky's the limit.
Okay.
All right, now we're going to talk about our little pop-ups that we have in front of us here. We have these pop-up bags that we made. We brought in the pattern for them, and we also brought in the refills, so you can make a small or you can do a medium. So on this, the small, whoops, okay, the small is this size. You see we have our little treats. We used our splash fabric with them because remember, splash is, it's, what is it? It's the BP, it's not,
It's waterproof.
it's waterproof, but it's also safe for the dogs to drink
sure.
out of it.
Absolutely.
So that was a big reason why we brought in the splash fabric for the doggies for our pop-up bowls. So this is a small, this is a medium.
Yep. You can put treats, you can put food, you can put water, whatever. Or even, hey, spools of thread, right? It doesn't have to be for
Right?
dogs.
Perfect size.
Yeah, so these springs or hardware, they call them a refill, actually will expand. So they do contract, right? They can squish, and you can put the elastic around here, and they're going to collapse, and you can put them in a bag or whatever. I use a taller one for a garbage can, actually, at Quilt Retreat. But the springs make the short bowls, but they also make the really tall, like garbage cans and other things. So they've got other patterns that you can acquire from the same company that use the same springs. So they're all just those
Different sizes.
Yeah, yeah. So 2 of the splash fabrics that we featured mostly today was our little dogs in the green, and then we also have our gingham in the black and white. So fun stuff.
Very fun.
Yep. I also used the splash fabric to make the fun little placemat right underneath. And I just took a placemat blank, and this is happens to be a fusible placemat material that we had left over from another sew fun, and ironed the splash onto the front and the back and put the binding around the edge to hold it all together. The splash is actually able to take heat. You can wash them, you can dry them, you can embroider them. I even ironed it and didn't have a problem. So yeah, this fabric is amazing. The package is 58 inches wide by 1 yard. So you got enough to make quite a bit.
Right.
Right? A little child's raincoat, or, you know, garments for the dogs or whatever. So very handy dandy stuff. All right. Now we have some greeting cards. You want to talk about the greeting cards?
Sure. So we brought in two different ones for embroidery. We brought in one for cat lovers, and we brought in for dog lovers. So there's 2 different ones. I will tell you, for the cats, that's appliqué. For the dogs, they are actually a fill stitch. So there's no appliqué for the dogs, but for the cats, it is appliqué and no fill. And then we brought in the OESD greeting cards that we used. And what we did is we embroidered first on a piece of fabric, and then we just attached it with a fancy stitch. So then when you open the card, it's blank and you can write inside it, and it's beautiful. So they don't even see the back of it.
Yeah.
The same with the dogs and the fill stitch. If you do it on a piece of fabric,
That one,
And-
yeah, that one's
ahead.
messy. That's the one I did my way, not their way.
So this is what it is if you do it right on the card and don't you have a stabilizer, right?
Yeah,
So-
that's the wrong way.
So then, but okay, so here we go. Look, here's the
Yeah.
right way where it's nice, clean inside,
Yeah.
and it's all good to go.
And they're just fun little sayings, right? Forever, friends forever.
Right.
You make my tail wag. Congratulations.
Fun little sayings.
Yeah, fun little cat and dog sayings. And they do have a little quilting element to the background. You're going to want to keep that fairly light and matching, but there is a little quilt pattern that goes in the back as well. So it was just a fun little set. There's 10 embroidery design collection files in each one. So you get either 10 cats or 10 dogs. And you can make greeting cards for you and your friends. And,
Right? They're fun.
all right. And then I think this is my favorite pattern.
Oh, yes, yes.
This is our Highland Cow. And he is just so much fun. This is from Patchabilities. And this is a raw edge applique pattern. Full size, it comes out about 24 by 28. I trimmed him up a little bit and didn't put the little squares on the top and the bottom. So you can make it any size you want. I have just the light colored, but if you want to pan over here just a little bit, you can see our cows. So
Don't you love those cows? How fun is this? You want to come over and
Yeah, go ahead and start with yours.
Mine is applique, and I actually had a friend do this for me, and she did the applique method. So this is all turned under, and this is done with the directions and the size. So this is the actual size that the pattern comes out, and lots of fun. So much character that they get
Yes.
and you'll see the difference between the two in the character.
Yeah, so the patterns are exactly the same. I've had people along my travels say, well, do you get both patterns in the same one? And I said, yeah, because they're exactly the same. They're just different fabrics, right?
Right.
So if a cow is going to be fuzzy in real life, I thought he should be fuzzy in my little wall hanging. So you may or may not be able to tell, but I can go pet my cow because he's all furry. So I just went through my stuff and found some different furs to make the body of my cow. The horns are a vinyl type fabric, and then these are cotton fabrics. And I used a combination of scissors for the fur to cut out, and also my scan and cut. So we're going to go back to the table here, and I'm going to explain. She has 2 sets of patterns. They're the same end result, but depending on what method you want to use, if you're going to do your trace it out on paperback fusible web, iron it to the back of your fabric and cut them all out and assemble it that way with scissors, she's got the patterns right here for you. They're reversed and they're ready to go. Now if you have a scan and cut, she's got them face up, right? So these are cutter friendly, she calls them. So there's no words. Your scan and cuts can't read words anyway. And they're nice and clean, simplified, and you just scan it in and cut out the pieces and you're ready to go. So no messing around. You've got both sets in the same pattern. So amazing, amazing, fun little pattern here.
Fun project.
Yes, definitely.
Love the little cows.
All right, so I think we might have some winners to announce here.
I'm making sure my microphone on.
All right, she's coming in with the winners.
Winner.
Do I have my microphone on now? Thank you so much, Polly and Gail. I have loved everything that you brought in today. I've been super inspired, and I can't wait to try some of these things when I get home, too.
Yeah.
Okay, we have 2 winners, one from Facebook and we have one from YouTube today. So thank you everybody for tuning in today and spending your day with us, your morning. Our first prize winner is from YouTube, and this is Chanya Koski. And you have won the Berry Market quilt pattern.
Fun.
Very cute.
Congratulations.
Yes.
I personally made this one myself, and I love this pattern. It's super, super cute. And the second winner is from Facebook. This is Mary. Mary has been on here a couple of times. I don't have to show you that. But you have won the Kimberbell One Hoop Wonder. It's got a CD in here and some embroidery, how to do some embroidery quilts. So thank you for
Fun. Congratulations.
Yes, if you go on to, if you shoot me an email at andrea@pollysewing.com and just tell me if you're a local customer and you have a store that you go with, I will send it to your store. You can pick it up there. If you are not local, then shoot me your address and I will mail it to you. And for all others that are on here today, just a reminder that if you go online and you want any of these products that they have been shown today, go ahead and put in AN20 for your 20% off the products that were talked about today. Thank you for tuning in, and we will see you next month.
Thank you.
Bye.